Hey, so I am going to talk about the creeper, but not right now. First, I'm going to talk about the scientific method because, or like topics about the scientific method, because I did use the method to get over my anxiety that was causing me not to pass college and get a job, but now I graduated and I got a job, so I got over that anxiety. So you can subscribe to my channel if you want to know more things that I did to get over that anxiety. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about, and then remember, guys, I'm just talking, so this is like a disclaimer. I'm not like a psychologist or licensed professional. Just the stuff I'll be talking about in my upcoming videos will just be based off my will just be my opinion based off experience, okay, and my knowledge. You consult your doctor if you have health problems. Okay, don't come crying to me. Okay, I probably shouldn't have said that disclaimer, but now let's see. Um, First, I'm going to talk about a fact versus an opinion, and then an objective observation versus a subjective observation, and then the natural versus the supernatural, and then I'll talk about a scientific method. Or not, I'll talk about a scientific theory. Okay, so now let's define first. This is my definition of what a fact is. A fact is an objective observation that can be observed by two or more observers. Okay, so an objective observation is well, first, an observation is something that can be observed with your five senses, okay? So it's like I see you, okay? That's one sense, and then like I hear, or like, I can hear myself, okay? So hear, second sense, okay? Smell, okay? Third sense, okay? And then like I can taste, like, okay, I taste good. And then, okay, so, oh my goodness, what is the fifth sense that I didn't mention? Let's see, hear, feel, okay, yeah, like I could touch myself, okay, so see, hear, feel, smell, taste, okay, so those are the observations, or the senses that you observe with. Okay, so I would be a fact then. And then an objective observation is something that you can observe outside of your mind. Okay, so like the computer screen or your phone that you may be watching this video on, that is an objective observation. It exists out of your mind, and then someone, else, another observer can touch your phone and see it, and okay, it's, yeah, that's an objective observation. So now a subjective observation is the opposite. It's an observation that only exists inside of your mind. So let's say you're thinking about popcorn, and then you're thinking, I might feed my pet dog some popcorn. Okay, but then your pet dog can't smell that popcorn, because the popcorn is a subjective observation. It only exists in your mind. Okay, so that's the difference. The subjective is only exists in the mind, while the objective exists outside. And so now an opinion is a part of a subjective observation. Okay, and then an opinion is also your interpretation of a fact, or what you think about a fact. Okay, so for example, you might think that this is a good video. Okay, and then that's your opinion. Okay, and let's say, oh, you show this video to your sister, and then your sister gives it a thumbs down. Okay, that's her opinion. Okay, and then that. So anyway, I know some of these definitions may seem elementary, but I do know that elementary school children can suffer from mental illness, so that's why I feel that I should explain these facts or these concepts in a way that can be explained to children. Okay, so now, children, we covered a fact, an opinion, an objective observation, a subjective observation. Now let's move on to the natural versus the supernatural. Okay, so the natural is, you can think of the natural as being made up of objective observations. They exist outside of your mind. Okay, so all objective observations, like the phone or computer you may be watching me on, exists out in the objective natural world. Okay, so that's what natural means. And then supernatural is the opposite. Okay, so it's like subjective observations. Okay, so let's say, for example, another example of what can be natural versus supernatural is, let's say you see a creeper in Minecraft, and the creeper on your phone, let's say you're playing Minecraft on your phone, okay, we explained, okay, that's part of the natural world. But what if somebody saw, okay, so let's say now if somebody says they saw a creeper explode a cow IRL in real life, okay, the creeper was on the farm, in a real farm, and exploded the cow. Now that might sound, that's going to be supernatural, okay, because we cannot observe, or so far, I don't know any two observers that hasn't observed an actual creeper in real life exploding a cow. Okay? Maybe, there might be it might be some secret government thing or something. If we were, or so let's say, okay, so for example, let's say somebody said they saw the creeper explode a cow, and then let's say it was documented, and now we can see oh, there's 2, 3, and then there's hundreds of observers that can observe the creeper in real life exploding the cow. Then now that creeper would become part of the natural world. It wouldn't be part of the supernatural, but right now it's part of the supernatural because we cannot observe that objectively. Okay? And so religion religious beliefs too, like the belief in God and in heaven and hell, in the afterlife, and those are also part of the supernatural, not the natural, because we cannot observe, God objectively in this world and see and feel, Him. So, but that doesn't mean that the religious beliefs are false. It just means according to science, they are not facts. Okay, and so now let's move on now to what a theory is in science. So people often they might say something like, oh, that's just a theory, and they use it the same way as they would use an opinion almost. But in science, a theory is the best explanation of all known facts. So it's like the most truth you can get in the scientific world. Okay, so for example, the cell theory, the cellular theory, that states that all living things are made up of cells. So that means that scientists or observers, they can repeatedly observe living things under the microscope, such as animals and plants and other organisms, and they can see, okay, that they're made up of cells. Okay, and then that also means that scientists have tried to disprove the theory. They've tried to find living things and look under the microscope and see that they do not have cells, but no scientist could disprove the theory. And so anyways, so that's an example of a scientific theory. So in science, a theory is not an opinion. Okay, anyway, that's all the stuff that I want to discuss in this video, and then in the upcoming video I will start to talk about the steps of the scientific method that I used to help me overcome my anxiety in college and at my job. Okay, goodbye for now.